Hello. Back to it again. Bop, bop, bop. Back to work. Present from Phoebe. Hello. You wasted no time jumping in here. How are you today? Nice. I haven't actually. I saw some of the Mario stuff when I was on somebody else's island the other day. It's the first time I've actually seen it because I don't think it triggers in the game until you reach the date that it was actually released. So I haven't seen any of this Mario stuff on my island yet. Hey, it's Flick. Bill's the only real jock I've got here. He was actually one of my original uh, island people, so I can't get rid of him now. He he's an original. Got to keep the originals. Although actually, I've only gotten rid of one villager, but that was a mistake. Um, I can't remember who it was. It was whoever lived in the top left corner house where Meringue is now. And I hit the wrong button and told her to leave. But I meant to tell her to stay. And so she left. And then I got Meringue moved in like a day or two later after she left. So, yeah. Yeah, for sure. I mean, lots of my villagers do work out as well. I see a lot of them working out all the time. But Bill's the only one that's actually like talks about it and stuff. The only villager I don't have that I wish I did have is uh, Lobo. Lobo had been a villager in like every Animal Crossing game that I've ever owned, and I've owned them all. This is the first time I've never had Lobo. I've never even seen Lobo. I know he's in the game, but I've never even seen him on anyone else's island either. Never had him as a villager. Oop, I goofed. Okay. I mean, I know Lobo's not in my 3DS one anymore. Because again, since I haven't touched it in so long, and unlike this one, obviously they move out eventually. So yeah, Lobo's gone in my 3DS game now too, but I haven't touched the 3DS one in so long it doesn't really even matter. Oh, most of mine would be gone too because I've screwed up a couple times with the when I haven't played in a while. Um, a few times without thinking, I've started the game without setting the clock to the right day, or once or twice because I've sometimes will have to put the clock back to the proper time for other reasons between playing Animal Crossing, and then when I go to put it back when I was still in 2020 in the game, I'd forget to change it to 2020, so I'd change it to like November whatever, and it should be 2020, but I put it to 2021, and it was like, oh crap. But yeah, like same thing. Like if villagers left automatically in this one, who knows who I'd have anymore. I did look along the beach, right? I can't remember. Yeah, because I haven't found the message in the bottle yet. Do 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 do. His name is Sherb. I like Sherb too. He's pretty cool. Um, so yeah, like I get upset that I don't have Lobo, but at the same time, um, I've been told that I have the best villagers anyways. So I do remember when this game first launched, people were actually selling Raymond for real money online, or trying to sell Raymond for real money online, and I just dumbed my way into Raymond. I don't need. Yeah, I was gonna say I don't need Cafe KK. Yeah, I've heard a few people talk about that one, about the unicorn as well. Um, I think I've only ever seen him on like one other person's island before during an attempt to sell turnips. Um, I remember there was somebody who only wanted Raymond though, and actually tried to get me to give them Raymond, um, because he was um, he was trying to get all the cats. Uh, well, I renewed my online back at the beginning of September, I think, so I'm good for another year now. At least at the current level. Who knows about this Switch Online Plus stuff that's coming out with the N64 and Genesis stuff. We'll see what that involves, but I I wouldn't be surprised if those show up eventually as well. I mean, in theory, there's not really any limit to what couldn't show up eventually. I am kind of glad though that it's not like the same service as before, like with the virtual console, because I, like a sucker, rebought a lot of games like multiple times over on Wii and then again on Wii U, um, and it's a little much when you don't play them that often. I mean, not that the games were expensive, but still, right? So I kind of like that it's more of a kind of like a suite of games that you can download, just play at your convenience. But I would be happy if they added GameCube games too. But and yeah, like there's a lot of licensing issues though, right? Like to get around a lot of those licensing issues to actually even add them to the service, I'm sure is a bit of a legal juggling act for Nintendo. Damn it! There goes another shovel. Let me guess, that's the last fossil I need too, isn't it? Yep. Alright. Back to my house to get another shovel. It's like it's like the reason why I remember a lot of people going on and on, like after the NES Classic and the Super NES Classic came out, everyone going, "Oh, N64 Classic," and I remember people getting excited about it, even though Nintendo had never said it was coming or anything like that. I remember people getting excited and going, "Oh man, can't wait to play like GoldenEye on it." It's like, yeah, GoldenEye's not going to be on it. Um, there's just way too much red tape that they would have to cross. Because especially at the time, I'm not sure if this is still accurate now, but at the time that this was first being talked about, Rare, the studio that made it, is owned by Xbox. The and I believe PlayStation at the time had the license for James Bond. So you would have had to have gotten both Xbox and PlayStation to agree to do a re-release of an N64 game. And I mean, we've proven obviously time and time again that Xbox is willing to play ball with people, right? You know, even with the announcement of the N64 games, Banjo Kazooie's there. That's 100% an Xbox title now, um, like Xbox owned title and property. But they're willing to play game ball, obviously. But it's highly unlikely that PlayStation would have also agreed at the time too. And who knows who owns the license for James Bond right now? I'm not even sure. It's probably still Sony, probably. I remember people going on, oh, but they re-released GoldenEye on like the Wii and all that, and it's like, no, they didn't. That was a reimagining. Activision had the license for James Bond at the time, so they made a brand new GoldenEye game. They didn't re-release it. Yeah, they copied the original idea, it's, but it's a game based on a movie. There wasn't much they couldn't get away with in that. That was already everything, wasn't it? 1, 2. Oh no, I'm still missing a weed. Well, Sony owns, so it's actually a little more complicated than that. So Sony owns the rights to Spider-Man as it relates to movies and television and that type of stuff. Sony also has the rights to do fictional Spider-Man games, as long as they're not strictly based on any current known Spider-Man property. Meaning, um, they, for example, they couldn't remake Maximum Carnage without a lot of legal red tape. For example, they couldn't do. They can't do a Spider-Man game based on um, like the clone Spider-Man storyline kind of thing. They can take from those ideas, but they have to rewrite them for their own purposes, which is essentially what they did with the Spider-Man games, right? Obviously, they can do games, obviously, also based on their movie properties, obviously, because there's no conflict there. But they don't have sole ownership of Spider-Man. They don't actually own Spider-Man. Marvel still owns Spider-Man, and other companies have licenses to use Spider-Man for video games and stuff as well, but in different regards. Um, so yeah, so what Sony, of course, did is they went to Insomniac, who they own, and said, "Hey, let's make a really good Spider-Man game, a la, same lines as like the Batman Arkham series and so forth." Um, so that so that's what they did, and I mean that it's brilliant on their part, honestly. Um, it's quite brilliant that they did that, and more power to Sony for it. Um, it does suck that it's not on Xbox as well. I hate when third party characters like that are exclusive to a console. It makes sense that Mario's exclusive to Nintendo. It makes sense that Zelda's exclusive to Nintendo. It makes sense that Master Chief is exclusive to Xbox, and so on. Um, those are characters that are owned by them, but Spider-Man's still a third-party character, but his license is being controlled by a first-party company, and I'm not a huge fan of that. Um, but it is what it is, right? So, oh crap, that was stupid. That was a money tree that hadn't quite fully matured. Oops. But that's why you just have every games console, and then you don't have to worry about those type of exclusive issues. I've played and beaten both Spider-Man games. They're fantastic. I think I still like the Arkham series better, but I know a lot of people prefer the Spider-Man over the Arkham games. And I get it. I understand why. I can't wait for the next Spider-Man game, though. Mario flooring, eh? Can't help you there, unfortunately. Ah, there's my other weed. I'm also excited about the Wolverine game they're making, too. I think that has the potential to be really good. But obviously, they're both very far away at this point. Which is probably a good thing, because I need to still save money long before I can buy a PS5 at this point. This is the money tree I need to shake for money. Probably not, because it's still a long ways away at this point, so most likely it's probably... Like, it won't be submitted for ESRB rating probably until a lot closer to its release. Like, I don't think even Halo not Master Halo Infinite, is that what it's called? Halo Infinite? Why am I blanking on that? Anyways, the new Halo game, I don't think even that has its ESRB rating yet. I could be wrong. But yeah, ESRB ratings usually don't actually get made. Like, they could be aiming for an M rating, but that doesn't mean they'll get it. Well, I mean, if Spider-Man's any indication too, I mean, they were pretty faithful. Like, what I really liked about the Spider-Man game is that it was still a unique story, but that it stayed very true to what everyone knows and loves about Spider-Man. Um, so I can't see Wolverine being any different in that sense. Um, and since Wolverine tends to be a more mature character, um, in 90% of all media, I doubt that will be any different for this game. But I guess we'll find out. Again, it's so far away though at this point. Did I not find the message in the bottle on the beach? Shouldn't I have two of these?